So, hi guys, here we are with Paolo from Italy, and I have to say I'm quite sad because I would love to speak Italian with him, missing Italy, missing everything about Italy, but we should speak English so everyone can enjoy a little bit this kind of talking. And then, Paulo, so introduce to yourself to everyone so we can understand a little bit, they can understand a little bit more about what we are going to talk about today.
Hi Franco, hi everyone. Uh, I'm from Italy, as Franco says. What I do, I'm a chef. I'm a cook. I spent the last 15 years traveling around Europe and Italy to improve my knowledge about all the skills in cooking. In the last 4 5 years, I focus more on something which is really related to my life, to all my life since I was a kid. Also because of my dad, he is a hunter, so we're speaking about wild meat. So I decided to focus more on that, and I have a couple of projects going on, and this collaboration that I hope starts now and keep going during the time. So here I am now. I'm living in Piemonte, so close to the mountain. Actually, I'm watching to the mountains right now from my balcony. I can consider myself lucky from for the lockdown. I mean, at least I could see the mountains.
And that's actually it's my the same region of altitude and trails project because everything started in not that far from there because even the other hunters are from that region. So that's pretty nice. I miss that land so much. Anyway, so the reason why we're starting this today, and it's because we think about meat from the wild game a lot. That means that most of the time we spend in the field actually is to harvest something that we're gonna use 100%. And then that's it's was my question when I started to talk with Paolo was I have always the impression that when I have to prepare meat from the wild game, I have to spend a lot of time. And then I start to see difference between meat that I take from the supermarket and meat from the field. So I don't want to do that. I mean, I don't feel like that. So the question now we can start straight away to the topic, and then I'm gonna ask you: is there a difference between something that it's like a beef or pork that I buy in the supermarket or a wild game, the wild boar, red deer that I hunt in the field?
Well, there are great difference, but at the end there's no difference because if you butcher right the animal, if you cook it, if you prepare it the right way, is the same thing as a breed animal. Um, you can use the same cuts you have on the breed animal on the wild game meat. So at the end, when you start to cook it, there is no difference at all. You can do long cooking on that, low temperature, barbecue, stews, and so on, but you can even eat it raw. So I think that speaking about the treatment of the meat, there's no difference at all.
And I have to say that I really like this kind of vision actually because we come from a background. Everything we're talking about today, guys, is about a little tradition that we experience when I was in Italy and still think Paolo is experiencing there a little more than me. I suppose that we treated the wild game in a way that gave us this impression that traditionally the wild meat has to be prepared, marinated, and stew hours and hours and stuff. So then when I move and I had all these hunts by myself, because actually I started hunt quite late, and I moved to develop this philosophy that I don't want to prepare the meat like taking some uh, days or hours and hours of marinade. And I have to say that during this period of lockdown, because you're not pushed to go to supermarket, and actually I don't want, because if you see that the how the people go get there, especially even here in the countryside in France, they're not respecting actually the measures that has to be taken, to avoid look contact and whatever. So I look at my freezer and said, "Wow, look! It's actually I was kind of happy because I had kind of a lot of raw deer's meat there." But I say I'm not gonna make anything, difficult with that. It's just gonna be meat on my plate, and that's it. And I swear, guys, I'm eating raw deer for more or less 1 month, and I just treated that meat like it was beef. And
And how do you feel?
I feel like, oh my God, what I've done before. All that, guys, you have to understand that most of the cuts that we do in Italy, and then Paolo is going to explain a little bit this cut, because yeah, spend a little bit of time about the spezzatino, please, before I go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah, I
Yeah,
will. It's
just tell
because I
tell
mean
all these guys. Yeah, give it. Yeah, go ahead.
we're really hooked to a tradition when the fridge doesn't exist. So
Yeah.
and also the meat was treated from the butchery in a tremendous way. So the solution was normally cut it, the whole animal, cut it in squares, like say
Hmm.
3 centimeters more or less,
Yeah.
and then marinate it for overnight in red wine, spices, and so on. Of course, all the bad taste that you have from a wrong butchery, from no fridge, and so on, disappear. But it also disappeared the real flavor
Mm.
of wild game meat, which is for me the biggest difference from the breeded animal. I mean, you have something which all his life has hidden herbs, wild herbs, during all the season in a different way. So yeah, the spezzatino, it's really what ruins, and it's really a bad habit because it's also put in a bad light
Yeah.
the game meat. Everyone, you speak with
Yeah.
someone about wild game meat, and they say, no, 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 it tastes too wild for me. I don't like it. Actually, once a colleague came to my restaurant to eat. I
Hmm.
serve him a shank of wild boar, and he told me,
Yeah.
it's not that wild. It doesn't taste that wild. So in Italy, normally people are expecting that taste.
Yeah.
When you start to prepare to take care of the meat the same way you do with the meat coming from breed animal, you don't have to do all this kind of marinade, spices, and so on. Just enjoy the flavor of the meat. I mean, we're speaking about meat, not spices and wine. So
Yeah.
just do that.
Yeah. Yeah. And then it's true that you have the feeling that actually, when you invite someone and you're gonna say what you cook today, and then they look at you, it's gonna be tasty. It's gonna be not tasty in the good way. It's gonna be tasty. This is like from the wild, so it's gonna be a little bit too strong. It's gonna be too tight, difficult, hard to chew it. It's gonna be all these kind of things. But uh, in Italy, it's true. We have that spezzatino, and I remember my mom, and she was so happy preparing the spezzatino. It took hours. She was like, conquering the kitchen for like ages, and all the house was smelling that thing. And then I was happy because I like it. It was that what we call civet, red deer
Yeah,
civet.
yeah,
It's spezzatino. It's like small pieces, the
totally,
squares pieces
totally.
of for stew. Yeah, and she did this kind of cream that with chocolate. She put cream and chocolate in that. It
Yeah,
was it was good. It
yeah.
was good. But
It is a
then
technique from the Middle Age,
yeah,
actually.
It's
I mean,
it's
all
awesome.
this come from the Middle Age, especially the cive, to treat the meat, who was even rotten maybe sometimes. So they have to cover it and put sweet, sour, spicy, and so on. And actually, it is good. And there are wonderful cut to make the spezzatino, but put the whole animal inside a spezzatino, for me, such a pity,
Yeah,
because it really,
yeah,
you
exactly.
have a lot
I
of
really
things
agree
you,
with
you,
that.
you can you can use: the loin, the legs, the
Yeah,
neck,
yeah.
the fillet, the ribs, a lot of things, really.
And as I was saying before, during this period, actually, here in the countryside, you have have a barbecue outside. There's nothing fancy. Just like a round thingy with you put the fire and then you put the meat on top. It's something really basic. That you can even do in a wood. Even when you are
Mm-hmm.
outdoor. And
Mm-hmm.
what I experienced like in this period, actually, it's like, no, wait, then I'm gonna prepare something. Just put on a bowl the pieces of meat, even not cutting fancy, and then put a little bit oil, some salt, and I don't know, just like a little bit of spices like oregon and this kind
Mm-hmm.
of
Yeah, like
herbs that
herbs,
you yeah,
garlic,
yeah,
rosemary. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yes. um and then I just put on the fire like that, no caring, just there, even not checking. So after a little bit, sometimes I take a piece, I cut the piece and see if inside is raw, and then I try it to see what about if I leave a little bit raw inside. What is the taste? And then other pieces just left there for ages. And man, I just experienced that. I felt like
That's
a
the way.
Neanderthal man again. And I was like chewing my meat and looking at myself proud and say, this I hunt this, I kill it, I cook it. So what do you want? I have everything. So I was like experiencing, the primal instinct and the primal, feeling that I can provide food. And I was like, amazing. Said, and I look at my freezer and say, wow, we can survive lockdown for the 2 months. And I was happy. And then I have to say,
Same
so
situation for me.
yeah, same situation for you. So now you mentioned about the taste. You mentioned
Yeah,
about the taste. So now I have
yeah,
another question. The question is this one. I have to say that sometimes the meat doesn't taste the same. And even if I take the same category of animal, I have to say that I don't know. For some reason, the taste is not perfect. So the question is why the meat sometimes is not the perfect taste, and it's because something happened, and this is maybe the base that push people to say, "Oh, the meat was not good."
definitely. I think there are two main reasons for that. First of all, which is the smallest reason, is the age of the animal, the sex of the animal, male, females, and so on. But the biggest reason is because the hunt didn't went the way we want. Maybe you shot in the wrong place. Maybe it get all dirty with the guts and so on. And it's a contamination, of course, you don't have during a normal butchery of a breed animal. Uh,
Yeah,
you can arrange that, definitely. You can arrange that, but I think that the first thing depends on the hunter. I mean, you have to know what you're doing there, and and try to make things better, since the shot went wrong, and operate on that, and really do it really quickly, because it's the cold chain, we call it in the restaurant. You have to follow that. So really quick, cut off the part which is dirty, or cleaned with a little bit of water. I'm saying little bit of water, not like washing the animal as a vest, or so on, in the water, in the river. Just a little bit
I've done that.
washed, and
I've
and
done that. done that. I remember. Just say Georgia. Georgia is just. I remember we did a road here like that. We washed in the river, and actually now
Actually,
think it's not a
one
good
of the
thing.
first time, no, it's not a good thing at all because the water goes into the fibers. You lose the blood, which has the flavor of the meat.
Yeah,
So you're gonna eat cardboard. It's just that. So
yeah.
please don't put your animals in the rivers, lake, so on, soak
Listen,
into the
guys.
water.
This
No,
guy knows
no,
what he's
no.
saying. It's not what he's saying, guys. Please don't do that. Okay, don't do shit like I did. Sorry, but don't do that thing because I remember that. Okay, why actually?
I prefer buy an animal which has been cut it. I mean, removed all the cuts that were dirt and so on, instead of one that was soaked in water. Because I mean, really, in that way you lose all the animal instead a
But
little part.
I can explain a little bit, maybe, why these things happen. It's I think it's most of the time when you have a shop placement that it doesn't go well. You know, those days that you know, no luck or whatever. Anyway,
Could happen.
happened to
Could
everyone.
happen.
Yeah, could
Yeah.
happen. Probably happened to everyone. So you have a show placement that goes a little bit back. So you open actually could open the stomach, could open it could open the intestine. So what you try to do is trying to wash these things instinctively. You try to wash the carcass the fastest
Yeah.
that you
If you
can.
have no if you have no water, you can just bring it on as soon as you can and do it home and then put it in the fridge to cold and dry a little bit. That works.
So that's better to just wash in that way. You know, not using too much water.
No,
But
no.
what if you are in the
A
field?
wet tissue, even a wet tissue. If you are in the field, you can clean it a little bit with green herb,
Okay,
uh, whatever.
yeah,
Uh, if you have a tissue and so on, try to remove all all the content of the stomach of the intestines,
okay,
and then bring it on, and as soon as you can, wash it a little bit, even with a wet tissue, as I was saying,
okay,
not to soak too much the meat.
yeah. And I have to say this true that when I remember roe deer that I got like could be like last year actually summer, and then actually one of my clients is it's a cow breeder, but also a nice butcher. And because of time, I sometimes bring the road here to him, but it happened just once because I was really tired with the with work, and my worries was that was hot, and I found the road here the next day. So,
I,
and I remember what he did. Actually, he didn't wash the road deer. He just he did the something that you just described, taking the towel and the wet
mm-hmm.
towel, and then just rub to the areas that he was not sure
Yeah,
about. That's it.
yeah,
That's it. He didn't wash the carcass at all, at all.
yeah.
So nice.
That's the
So
way. Even especially if you want to age the meat, which I think
yeah.
it's something that should be always
Hmm.
in a fridge or outside during the winter, but it should be done. Especially because of that, you have to have a clean carcass of the animal,
Okay.
because if not, start the fermentation, the contamination of the meat,
Yeah.
and that goes wrong, of course.
So, what do you suggest of to people that, for example, they can work themselves? They can do all the process, for example, from the field to the table. To leave the okay. In Europe, we talk most of the time about red deer, roe deer, okay, and
Hmm.
chamois. So leave the animal like with the skin for a long period in a cold area, or just skin the animal straight away.
No, no, no. You have to age it skin on. If you have a fridge big enough to store the animal, you put it in.
Hmm.
If it's during the winter time, you can even take it outside. I mean,
Yeah.
in a cellar or so on. I mean, in a fresh place, it has to stay between 2 degrees, 4 degrees Celsius, and just leave it like that. With the roe deer, I mean, small game, let's say. I think that a week should
A week.
be, yeah,
Wow.
should be the right period. If you go on red deer and so on, even 10 days,
Okay.
10 days
Wow.
to a couple of weeks. Actually, once I tried with the roe deer to age it 3 weeks, and was like it melts in your mouth.
Well,
Even eat
three
it raw
weeks.
like a tartare was really great.
So you're telling me that you age a roe deer in what in a cell between two or four
In a
degree,
cell, yeah, three
2 or 4
weeks skin
degrees
on,
for three
and
weeks.
then was, yeah, and sometimes I just go check a little bit to see if molds were coming
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
If there were molds, again with a wet tissue, just rub it a little bit and
Okay.
keep caring like a child your roe deer in the cell, and you'll have
Rubbing a
a
little bit
wonderful,
sometimes.
yeah.
Okay. So you're telling me that okay, you aged 3 weeks that roe deer, and then you ate the tartare of that roe deer.
Yeah, from the leg.
Oh wow. Wow.
Normally, yeah.
Oh my, I'm shaking. I'm feeling like I'm gonna try straight away.
I try
Wow.
a lot of different ways to cook the legs of deer, roe deer, chamois, and so on. But for me, at the end, from all the biggest cut from the leg, the best way is the tartare.
Okay.
And
So
there's a lot actually, so you can enjoy a lot of tartare from a roe deer, a red deer.
yeah,
Best chill first, just to be sure if you can, or freeze it a little bit,
yeah,
maybe let's say for a couple of weeks,
yeah.
3 weeks, and yeah, just do that. And the one we made from that roe deer, the 3 weeks aged roe deer was really wonderful. I mean, it was
Oh,
really like butter in your mouth.
oh my God, I feel so bad now. I can see that this if it goes well, the podcast will gonna last for a little bit because we have to understand a little more about all this kind of universe of wild game meat and yeah, that's fantastic. You see that now there's actually no difference from supermarket meat and the wild game. Actually, it's really important for a hunter to care about what he harvests. And then when you talk in these ways that you're preparing all these kind of dishes that actually that they don't ask for so long. They don't You don't have to invest so much time, if I understanding
At all,
about.
at
Uh,
all, at
I mean,
all. I
from
mean,
when you have your cut.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that the one that takes more time than the others should be the stew, or the roast shoulder, or the bollito you can make from the neck, which is
Yeah,
something really awesome.
I did that. That's
Uh,
amazing. Amazing. You have a soup that is incredible. You feel like drinking that kind of elixir from Asterix. I
yeah,
remember
yeah, yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
What my eyes just opened wide, and I feel like, wow, that was just a huge amount of nutritious stuff, guys. The
Was it?
neck,
Yeah.
the neck. I just boiled the neck and made a soup.
Hmm.
I mean, I didn't do that. My wife did because she's good at that. I'm that one to just turn the things on the fire. But yeah,
The
I have to
easiest
invest.
way.
This is way, yeah, yeah, yeah. Nice. So, okay. Now I want to ask you about something about your background. I mean, because you say that you travel, so
I do travel, yeah.
you try to actually, if I understood, to make your techniques like a mix of dishes that you have experienced, that you have seen. So you're trying like to mix like different style of cooking, or you just evolve from the North Italy tradition cooking style, and now you're experiencing something more. or you're already starting to make dishes that we can actually find, on a traditional restaurant if we go North Italy?
Actually, it's a mix of both things because what I really like it's taking what's good of tradition and keep it and bring it in the modern age. So when you do that, uh, you have to avoid all the things that were born during the tradition, such as no fridges and so on. But again, it's fun also to apply all the things I learned by working, by eating, because that's first thing. If you want to know more and more and more, you have to eat and taste a lot of
Nice.
things. So it's like a mix of all the things. Normally, right now I'm in the north of Italy, so I take the tradition we have here, and then I just gave a little mix to that with all the things I've learned around Italy, Europe, Asia a little bit, and it's that. It's just having fun cooking. It's not something boring. Oh, I have to take my meat. It's gonna take a lot of
And
time. I don't want to. No, just have fun on that.
yeah, and plus, this is good things, guys. Hunters, listen to the podcast. We will go ahead with this, and this is the best way to prepare a dish and conquer a woman. Because I think that
Oh yeah.
some
You
women that are
discover my
even
secret weapon.
you know that you prepare something that is kind of really, fine, delicate with style and philosophy that you even harvest. I think you're gonna win some points with the woman that
Definitely.
is in front of you, or otherwise the same thing. I mean, a woman is a huntress. I knew a whole bunch of them. This is like they're incredible. And sometimes I have to say they're even a lot better than men. Um, I know why, but I don't want to say that. But the same thing. You can conquer a man with a good dish, because I have to say that I
Whoa.
think my mom, she just locked my father with her techniques. So that, okay, she's a beautiful woman, also, but I think she conquered my dad with some like a crazy technique, that my father was okay. It would
I
be
can go for
nice,
the old
when it
package. I
got that.
mean, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so that's pretty good. Okay, guys, because you were talking about Asia, and I want to say something to all people that are listening to us. We were chatting a little bit with Paolo before these days, and he sent me pictures about something that is called gyoza, that actually is a Japanese dish, right?
It is. It is.
And then, okay, I know already, but I have to create a little bit of suspense because people also that. What the hell you put inside those gyoza? Just tell everyone what you did there, because that thing just looked incredible.
That was super easy to make. I just ground the wild boar I had, a shoulder, which I think is the right cut, having the right balance from fat and meat. So it was grinded wild boar, leeks that we have here in Piemonte, a little bit of ginger,
Yeah.
and that was it. I mean, super easy. Put it raw inside, then you steam it, you grill it, and you have a wonderful dish. Takes
How
what,
long
half
it
an
take?
hour more or less to make it, and that's it.
Yeah. How long it takes to make something that fantastic, to make those gyoza?
Half an hour
Half an hour.
maybe.
That's not
Yeah.
that much, actually.
No, it's not that
No.
much. Then if you want to put the fancy shape of the gyoza, maybe a little bit more, but you just have
Okay.
to make the dough, close it, steam
Yeah.
it, and then you have it.
It's actually like a big ravioli, right? It's like
It
a
is.
ravioli.
It
Yeah.
is. Yeah, it's pretty much same of the Chinese dumpling.
Nice. Nice. So I think we are at the end of it, and we will try to continue with this
Yeah,
talking,
because there are a lot of
because
things
there's a lot of
to
stuff.
say.
Yes, I love
Yeah.
it. I love
I
it.
can
I
wait.
love it. So we will keep Paolo staying with us for a long time, I think. So this is gonna be like corner where we discover his kitchen, okay? And then I hope this
Definitely.
will, the yeah, amazing. This I hope it will inspire everyone to not just conquer a woman or just a woman conquer a man, but just make some extra dishes that wow you will enjoy so much, and then they can value the animal that you're harvesting. That's an important
I will try my
message.
best. I will try my
Yeah,
best.
I think you already done your best. So it's about us to learn from your best. That's the perfect thing.
Thank you so
So
much.
another thing is just an information. We're gonna continue this talking with this topic, but I have a young vet that will join us in the future, in the
Hmm.
upcoming future, and I asked him if he was interested to just show a little bit which are the pathologies they are involved in this kind of hunting field,
Hmm.
hunting background, because
That will be that
when
will
you,
be great.
it will be nice because you harvest an animal and actually you are going to expose yourself to kind of pathologies, zoonoses, and it's an important topic that every hunter should consider.
It
That's
is.
really important. So we will talk with him, and so we are gonna open the debate. You guys are you always, welcome to just send messages, send us ideas, whatever it is. We can evolve with this kind of things. And what we're trying to do is trying to interact with the most of you guys, and spread this message the maximum that we can. Okay. So thank you, Paolo. So and see you the next time. That is gonna be, I don't know. We didn't plan yet. So surprise. We're gonna announce that on our Instagram, whatever our channels. Thank you guys. Bye.
Thank you.